Good evening. My name is Kimberly Gonzalez, and I'm going to discuss and introduce you to different communication skills that could help Jane and John in their relationship. And I want to discuss now what challenges could come up and provide recommendations for improving their relationship. Because as you see and could hear from the story, John feels that John does not listen to her when she speaks, while John believes that Jane is overly emotional and often revisits issues he thought had already been resolved. Their situation highlights several important concepts that influence relationship success, including context, emotions, and listening. In this vlog, I will discuss how personal backgrounds, personalities, differences, worldviews, and cultural experience can affect communication. I will also discuss the importance of emotional expression and active listening and providing practical recommendations that Jane and John can use to strengthen their relationship. In this next section, part 2, the role of context, emotion, and listening in relationships. One important factor that Jane and John could consider in the role of context in communication. People's backgrounds, personalities, worldviews, cultures, and past experiences often influence how they express emotion and respond to conflict. For example, when one partner may grow up in a family where emotions were openly discussed while the other may have learned to avoid emotional conversations, these differences can affect how each person intercepts or interprets disagreements and communicates their needs. Emotions also play a significant role in relationships. Emotions provide valuable information about how people feel and what they need from their partners. Rather than viewing emotions as a problem, Jane and John should recognize that emotions can help them better understand each other's concerns and perspectives. When emotions are ignored or dismissed, partners may feel hurt, misunderstood, or disconnected. Listening to one another is another crucial component of healthy relationships. Effective listening involves more than listening and hearing words. It requires paying attention, showing interest, and seeking to understand the speaker's message. When partners feel heard and understood, they are more likely to trust one another and work together to resolve conflicts. Active listening helps reduce misunderstandings and promotes stronger emotional connections. Recommendations for emotional expression and active listen. First, John and Jane should change how they think about communication challenges. Jane should recognize that John's communication style may not be mean. He doesn't care about her feelings. His behavior may be influenced by his personality, upbringing, or previous experience. Likewise, John should understand that Jane's emotions are not necessarily overreactions. Instead, they may reflect important concerns, needs, or feelings that she wants him to understand. But both parties couldn't approach disagreements with empathy and a willingness to understand each other's perspectives. Second, both partners should practice active listening. John should or can improve his listening skills by putting away distractions, maintaining eye contact, and fully on Jane is saying. Before responding, he can summarize her message to ensure that he understands her correctly. This demonstrates what was respect and shows that he values her thoughts and feelings. Jane can also support healthier communications by focusing on the current issue rather than bringing up unrelated past conflicts during disagreements. Staying focused and present in the conversation can help prevent defensiveness and encourage proactive problem solving. Another recommendation is for both partners to use I statements when expressing emotions. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," Jane should say, "I feel ignored when I don't have your full attention." Similarly, John should say, "I feel overwhelmed," when past issues are brought up during our discussion. Using I statements reduces blame and encourages open communication. Finally, both partners should practice emotional validation even if they disagree. They can acknowledge each other's feelings by saying things such as, "I understand how you feel that I can understand why you feel that way," or "I can see why that situation upset you." Validation helps partners feel respected and understood. Each can strengthen their emotional connection. In conclusion and call to action, Jane and John have the opportunity to transform their relationship by listening with empathy, expressing emotions respectfully, and appreciating how their different backgrounds, personalities, worldwide, and expressions shape communication. My challenge to them is to start today by choosing one communication skill, such as using I statements, validating emotions, or summarizing what their partner says, and practice it in every important conversation. Taking small but intentional steps can lead to lasting improvements. Thank you for watching, and remember that healthy communication is one of the most important tools for building strong and successful relationships.